everybody, welcome to the very first edition of Daily Math with Miss Aguilar. So we're going to get started on week 12's homework for Monday night, and we're going to start on the comparing. Today's kind of all about comparing. So here we go. So the first step you need to do is make sure you have a pencil. Right? Miss Aguilar is going to be using a pen only for it to show up better for you guys, just like I do in class. So here we go. The first thing you need to do is remember when you're comparing, you have to add your imaginary zeros, okay, in order to match up those place values. Let me get it right. There we go. So let's get started with the first one. I'm going to go ahead and write it to the side. So 12 and 3/10, and I see that this one goes to the thousandths, so I'll make it go all the way to the thousandths. And we're comparing that versus the 12 and 209 thousandths. So the number before the decimal is 12 on either side, so then I just look at the number after the decimal, and I know that 300 is larger than 209. Okay, so that's a greater than. All right, so let's keep moving. 879 and 4 hundredths versus 879 and 31 hundredths. They go to the same place value. I know that 31 is greater than the 4, so this one is less than that one. All right, so this one I just need to put a 0 there, so I have the same place values on either side. 34 and 750 thousandths versus 34 and 749 thousandths. 50 is greater. Okay, so for this one I need to add 2 digits of my imaginary zeros so they're equal in place value. Okay, 11 on both sides before my decimal. This one says 9 thousandths. This one says 100 thousandths. 100 would be the larger number. Cool. All right, let's move on to the next box. This one has a short story. Okay, and remember when we're working on short stories, kind of use your cube strategy. Circle your numbers, underline your question. Okay, box any important words. Terry ran 8/10 of a mile. Okay, Hank ran 75 hundredths of a mile. What do we need to do when comparing? Match up the place value. Place your imaginary 0. So right away, before I even read the rest of it, I can come to the conclusion that Terry ran more. Okay, he ran more. 80 hundredths of a mile versus 75 hundredths of a mile. Which statement best describes the amount that Terry and Hank ran? Best describes the amount. Hank ran more. We already determined that's not true, so I'll take that out. This one says the same thing. Hank ran more. I don't even need to read the rest because I know that that first statement is not true. Terry ran more. Agreed, because 75 hundredths is greater than 80 hundredths. This part of this statement is not true. So then let's look at D. Terry ran more. Agreed, because 80 hundredths is greater than 75 hundredths. True. My best answer is D. Okay, so we're moving on, and we're correctly comparing using greater than, less than, or equal to. Now, when you're looking at this type of problem, remember that you solve it step by step. So the first thing you need to do is compare these two, then compare these two. And remember, just like we did above, make sure you add your imaginary zeros so that your place values go to the same place. Here we go. So this one goes all the way to the hundredths. I'll add a 0 there. 13 and 20 hundredths versus 13 and 12 hundredths. This one is the greater than. Okay. Now when comparing these two, I've got to add my imaginary 0 there. 13s are the same. 120 versus 209 thousandths. The 209 is a larger number. So when comparing these two, 13 and 120 thousandths is less than the 13 and 209 thousandths. Okay, this one we need to add 2 zeros there. 65 and 300 thousandths versus 64 and 299 thousandths. Now don't make the mistake of saying, oh, 300 is bigger than 299. Remember what I've been saying. You've got to see the number before the decimal too. Also, this one has 65 and this one is 64. So right off the bat, you should see that 65 is greater than the 64, regardless of what's going on behind the decimal. Okay. Now when comparing these two, add your zeros to equal up the place value on either side. 64 and 299 thousandths versus 64 and 900 thousandths. 900 would be the larger number, so that one is greater. Okay, here we go. 2 and 158 thousandths versus 2 and 200 thousandths. Okay. 2 and 200 thousandths versus 2 and 189. The 200 is greater. Okay, for my last one in this box, 19 and 25 thousandths versus 19 and 100 thousandths. My 100 is greater. 19 and 100 thousandths versus 19 and 230 thousandths. My 230 thousandths is greater. All right. Here we go. In which empty box would the number 3 and 47 hundredths make the comparison true? Just like we've been doing, you're going to make sure that you add your imaginary zeros so your place values are equal on either side. Okay, so I'll just add it to the side over here of the box. 3 and 47 hundredths, but I see this one goes to the thousandths, so there I go. Right, so 3 and 124 thousandths is greater than 3 and 470 thousandths. That's a wrong statement. Okay, I'll add my number over here so I can compare. I see that it goes to the thousandths. Okay, 3 and 470 is less than 3 and 419 thousandths. That's not a true statement. Okay, for C, 3 and 9 tenths is less than, but this one goes to the hundredths. So what do I need to do? Remember that the 7 would round up, so then that means it's 3 and 5 tenths. So I'll write that 3 and 5 tenths. Is this statement correct? 3 and 9 tenths is less than 3 and 5 tenths? No, it's not. Okay, for this one, okay, I put 3 and 47. I add my 0 over here to compare. 3 and 47 hundredths is less than 3 and 50 hundredths. Bingo. That's our correct statement. Okay, now today we look at what went wrong. Okay, and that is going to be a order of operations problem. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is write groovy math dudes or divas always shine. And remember, we work our way from left to right. And in order for us to figure out what went wrong, let's just do our problem on our own. So we have to rewrite it. 12 plus 8 divided by 4 times 8 minus 1. I see there's no groupings. I move down. Multiplication and division. Which one do you see first from left to right? I'm cruising along. Bingo. The division. Okay. 8 divided by 4, 2. I rewrite it. Remember, we're doing like our upside down Christmas tree or our pizza slice. We're trying to make that V shape. When we line it up that way, it's less prone to mistakes. So now, multiplication or division. Bingo, right here. Okay, 2 times 8 is 16. I rewrite. I no longer have multiplication or division. I move down to add or subtract, whichever I see first from left to right. 12 plus 16, I see that first. That's 28. Rewrite it. 28 minus 1 gives me the 27. Okay, that's my answer. I see over here they got to 39. What did they do wrong? Okay, they added first. See this? What did we do? we followed the correct order of operation and we divided first. So if I were to answer in a complete sentence, okay, what mistakes were made? The mistake was adding first instead of dividing. All right, perfect. That was Monday night's daily math, and I hope you guys learned, and we'll see you soon. Bye.